Hello, in this video, I wanted to show the Align tools in Adobe InDesign. To find the Align tools, we can go to Open Window menu, find Object and Layout, then select Align, and the shortcut for that is Shift F7. If I click on that, all the Align palette with all the tools is shows in the workspace. You can simply drag and stick it to the left toolbar to have the Align palette stick to other palettes in the left side of the workspace. Okay. So in this exercise, I wanted to align these three squares from the left edges. First of all, we need to select all the shapes or the objects that we wanted to align them. To select the objects, we need to use the selection tool or the black arrow. Then by click on each of these shapes, it would be selected. But if we wanted to select more than one object, we can hold down Shift key and click on each of different objects to select them at the same time. There is another way to select more than one shape. You can simply drag and keep the mouse down and draw a rectangle shape around all of the objects that you wanted to select using the selection tool. So simply we see all of those selected. To find that each object is selected, you can see there is a blue border around the objects. So it shows that all of those are selected. After you select all the objects that you wanted to align together, we can open the Align tool and find Align Left Edges. By holding the mouse on each of these tools, a hint will show up and you can see what the tool is about. The first one shows Align Left Edges, and by selecting that, you can see all the selected objects are aligned from the left edge. Okay, let's see another exercise. In this one, we wanted to align all of these shapes from the centers horizontally. Again, we can select the shapes or hold down the Shift key and select all the shapes. Then from the Aligned palette, find Align Horizontal Centers. And then you can see perfectly aligned selected shapes from the centers horizontally. In this exercise, we want align right edges, select all the shapes, and find align right edges. As you can see, all the edges are aligned from the right side or the right edge. In this exercise, we wanted to align top edges. Out a bit. There you go. So first again, select the shapes, find the tool for align top edges, and you can see perfectly all the selected shapes are aligned from the top. Okay. So let's go to another exercise. Make sure the selection tool is selected. In here, we want to align vertical centers. Select the circles, find Align Vertical Centers tool, and easily just center all the selected circles vertically from the center. Okay. So after you try these tools, we have another section which which are the tools for distribute objects. So in these tools, as you can see from the shapes, it will distribute objects from top edges, vertical centers with the same spacing. If you don't use specific size to use the spacing, it will just use whatever space between the edges of those objects and just distribute them evenly. But if you wanted to use a specific spacing, you can check this box and apply that. In this exercise, we wanted to distribute all of these squares from the left edges and use a spacing 0.5 inches. It means I wanted to have the 0.5 inches space between the left edges of the shapes. So from the left edge of this square to left edge of this one, I wanted to have exactly 0.5 inch. So first, again, we need to select all the shapes. So check the use spacing and type 0.5 inches. Then find a specific tool that distributes left edge, which is this one. And by click on that, you can see perfectly we have an exact size of 0.5 inch between the left edge of each object to the other object. There is another exercise here to distribute vertical space using spacing 0.6 inch. So we have another bunch of the tools that distribute spacing. So in this one, it will distribute objects with the same space between the objects, not between the edges of the objects. It means that if I wanted to have 0.6 inches space between the left or bottom edge of this one to the top edge of this one, it means the spacing between these two objects, it will apply, you need to apply distribute spacing or vertical space in here. So let me select these three squares, check use spacing. You can add the specific size that you wanted, which is 0.6 inch here, and then select distribute vertical space. And there you can see the space between the objects is 0.6. It's different from the distribute objects because in this one, it calculate the spacing between the edges, for example, from the top edge here to the top edge here. So this one. But for the distributed spacing, it will add the spacing between the objects. The last exercise, we wanted to distribute horizontal space and use the 0.6 inch again. So again, select the squares. We have a specific spacing, so let's check use spacing, add the amount that you wanted, and find the tool for distribute horizontal space. So again, perfectly, it added 0.6 inch between each of these squares. I hope you find this video useful. Thank you for watching.